Hey everybody, welcome to Goshen Prepping. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about GoldBacks, and what I want you to understand, there are plenty of myths and misconceptions out there about GoldBacks saying that, well, they're problematic and it's not the best, honestly, non-fiat currency as far as precious metals to keep. I think it's the best. I mean, I still have like constitutional silver, other things too, but I love the fact that GoldBacks are denominational. I can actually take them out and trade them. There's an actual market based on them, based on the gold market, not some fiat currency. All right, so some different myths. The first myth is you can't take this gold back and actually extract the gold. Of course you can. So let's go ahead and do a quick experiment. Let's use my beaker. We'll drop the gold back right in here. And you know what? I'll just use my little torch lighter. It's just a lighter, mind you, and catch it on fire. I know, it just breaks your heart watching this little baby burn away. And that smoke, by the way, do not inhale that. Any type of plastics and stuff, really bad news. But what you're seeing is like the PVC plastics burning off, allowing the gold to remain. And although in my little experiment it was not a complete job, I was able to extract all the gold, but there's still a little bit of like charcoal plastics and everything with it. If I had a crucible, and if I had like a blowtorch, for example, I could do it. But I'm going to tell you right now, you wouldn't want to do this. There's no reason to do this because the gold back in its form, in my opinion, is perfect. Why would you? I don't know. We'll talk about that in a minute, why that's basically something you don't want to do anyway. But anyways, the myth out there is you can't extract the gold. Of course, you can extract the gold. It's very easy. And the second myth is this. This specific gold back is for South Dakota. You can only use it in South Dakota. That's not true at all. There are certain states that literally make it so you can use gold backs as legal tender. Outstanding. Not all the states. And I'm sure there's more coming. You know what I'm saying? But either way, I'm not in South Dakota. I'm in Michigan. I can still use the gold back. It's not legal for current trade, currency, for example. It may be coming my state someday, but it is good for trading and bartering because this is actually based on specific amounts of gold and what the gold market's at. So you go to a yard sale, you go to a mom and pop store, etc. They very well may take gold backs, even though it may not be a legal tender. In other words, it's not an illegal tender. It's just not been authorized to be a legal tender in the state. There's a bunch of states it is. Michigan's not one right now, and you may be in a state that's not one right now either. That doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. You can still take it and use it to buy, barter, and trade and stuff. Secondly, when it comes to buying gold, people say all the time, oh my gosh, as far as I haven't checked the gold back price recently. It was getting close to $5. And when you actually look at this amount of gold in there, it's really only worth, as far as the gold goes, like $250. We'll just go ahead and use those nice round numbers, okay? This gold back one is worth $5 on the market, but the amount of gold is $250. We'll just make up those numbers and say that's how it is. People try to claim that's actually paying over premium or over a spot. And that's not what's happening at all. That's completely different. Let me give you an example. If you go into a gold dealer or even go online and you try to buy some gold and you try to buy $5 in actual gold, how about $100? I want $100 in gold. They're not going to sell you that gold for $100. They're going to sell you that gold for like $110. That's the premium over spot what we're talking about. So when you take it home, you have that gold coin. Here's just a roll of tape close enough. Here's my gold coin, and it's worth $100. Wait, I paid $110 for it. So you go back to that gold dealer or whatever it is and say, I want to trade this in, and I want my $110 back. They will laugh. No. They'll say, how about this? I'll give you $90 for it. Because there's a rumor going around. This rumor is very, very true, mind you, that the rumor is that gold dealers hate gold backs. Don't you ever buy? Of course they do. Because they have one thing in mind, make a profit. And I'm not knocking gold dealers for that. That's their job. They buy and sell and deal in gold. But the thing is, you're paying for it. I don't care what gold you buy, except for gold back, mind you. You go in there, you buy that gold coin, I'll pay you $110 for it. When I sell it back to you, I'll give you $90 for it. What are you talking about? Not with the gold back. You buy the gold back, even though it's $250 worth of gold and worth $5 as far as the gold back goes, you buy it for $5 and you take it back. Do they say, I'll only give you $450 for it or $4? No, I'll give you $5 back for it. That's if we're talking about specifically the market hasn't changed. But as we see gold and silver on the rise, there's an excellent chance you'll buy this for $5 today. And tomorrow, metaphorically speaking, in the future, it may be worth 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or more. Because as we see a fiat currency, as the value of fiat currency going down because of inflation and such, the price of gold and gold backs goes up. But you're not paying any premium over spot. And that's actually what blows my mind, because you go to a gold dealer and you buy gold. I want to buy this $2,000 gold coin. They're more than $2,000 now. they'll sell it to you for like $2,200. And when you take it home, well, it's worth $2,000, but try to sell it back to that same dealer and they'll say, I'll give you like $1,900 for it because they're in it for a profit. Again, not knocking them. That's just their job. So I guess the question is, and this is the last myth, the GoldBacks aren't worth it because it's only $250 worth of gold, but $5 for a GoldBack, metaphorically speaking. That's a ripoff. That's not a ripoff. I want you to understand something. It's a concept that people don't get. When you buy a car, you know what? And I happen to have a brand new car right here. Okay, I got one of my kids' little Matchbox cars. That's a pretty sweet looking ride right there. You know, if this was real, it'd be kind of cool. And when you buy a car, let's say this car cost $100,000. So here's the problem with that. When you look at the GoldBack, you pay $5 for it. It's only worth $250 for gold. When you buy that really sweet looking Lamborghini, $100,000, it only has, we'll just go ahead and make it up, $50,000 worth of metal in it, worth of parts, worth of plastic, worth all those different things to put in there. It's the raw materials. You're not buying the GoldBack specifically just for the raw materials. There's engineering in this that makes it so you can't counterfeit it. That's the whole point. Because same thing when you talk about the gold markets. You go to that coin dealer and say, I want to buy that coin. He'll say, sure, here you go, sucker. I mean, sir. And there are, and I'm listening to me, billions of dollars of fake gold on the market. Billions of dollars. In fact, China continuously pushes and sells fake gold to America. So when you're buying that gold from that gold dealer, that coin dealer, whatever, you may get a real one. You may not. Even if it's stamped and has a little official serial number on there, it doesn't matter. There's tons. The market is flooded with fake gold. This GoldBack is real gold. Now, I showed you basically my little thing where I extracted the gold from there. I'll go ahead and challenge you. Go ahead and just Google it. There's some people who have the crucibles and the torches and the furnaces, and they extract the gold and measure it out and say, no, that's the real gold. That's actually the exact amount that's on there is the exact amount on there. And that's where the engineering comes in. So when you buy that really cool, expensive Lamborghini for $100,000, I want you to understand that statistically speaking, 47% of the money into that car is the raw materials. I mean, maybe not a Lamborghini, but like your typical Chevy or Toyota, whatever. 47%. So if we're looking at a car that's $100,000, $47,000 of it is the raw materials. It's about how much? It's about half. Same thing with the GoldBack. When you buy it for $5. About half of it is for the cost of the gold. About half. You don't argue about that with your car. I don't know if you care if you're buying a new one or a Lamborghini or a used old kind of beater. I don't care. It's still, you're buying not the raw materials. You're not buying a giant chunk of metal. That'll drive you nowhere. You buy the engineering, you buy the labor, you buy the raw materials, and now you get the car. Even though only a small percentage of it is actually the car itself as far as like, you know, being able to drive and stuff. 47% is the raw materials. 21% is actually going to come from the labor. So we're looking at 70%, 60 to 70% of this, when you buy this car, we'll just go ahead and say 60% of that car is not the car itself. It's the raw materials, it's the labor, it's the engineering the car company puts in it. But here's the difference. This is 50%, this is 60%, or 50% gold, and we're looking at 60% raw materials and such. Which are you going to buy? You take this and buy it off the lot. You buy it for $100,000. You take it back to the car dealership, and they'll say, "Yeah, I'll give you $90,000 for it." I just bought it $100,000. I know. You buy the GoldBack, take it off the lot, $5. Take it back that same day, $5. Oh, I got all my money back. But here's the thing: this will appreciate, this will depreciate, and therefore, I mean, nobody's going to buy a car. Well, not almost nobody, but people don't usually buy cars for investment purposes. But you buy your Buick or your Cadillac, whatever the case may be, and you do it for using it, and it's going to depreciate. But when you compare that with buying a gold coin, let me get my fake gold coin again. Here's a gold coin. When you buy this gold coin for $5, you try to take it back to the dealer, you're only going to get like $4.50 for it. You take this gold coin, metaphorically speaking, the gold back to the dealer, and you're going to get $5 back for it. But what happens is, as fiat currencies basically deflate in value, you have inflation, these will both increase, but the difference is this one has a premium over spot. This one does not. This one has engineering and raw materials put into it that makes it so you can't counterfeit it. You can't say that about the coins. So GoldBacks, listen, I have all kinds of things I prepare for crap hits the fan or, you know, bartering, including silver, including items. You know, you can't eat gold. That's true. But I'll tell you, when it comes to trying to replace a fiat currency, which some states are doing, these are legal tender in some states. And there is no premium over spot. In fact, what I have found is all the GoldBacks, every single GoldBack I've bought so far has increased in value. Unlike a lot of other stuff, as soon as you get off the lot, like that gold coin, it's already going to depreciate. It may be based on the market, but eventually it may come up high enough, immediately the GoldBack is worth more. So GoldBacks are fantastic. And that's why personally, I have a whole wide array of different types of values. I literally have stacks of this stuff. It is fantastic for bartering. And as we're hitting the summer, I'm taking it out and bartering with people as far as yard sales. I'll show you some of that footage soon, by the way. It's amazing. People love the idea. This whole garbage will tell you people it's not worth it. You can't extract the gold, all these things as far as, it's basically paying a premium. It's only for certain states. All that's not true at all. GoldBacks, in my opinion, are the perfect thing to curb against fiat currency and inflation because we see our dollar collapsing. We've barely seen it collapse. Far more collapsing is coming. And the best way to be ready for that, simply put, is by having GoldBacks. So in the description below, click on Alpine Gold. There's lots of places to get it, by the way. Alpine Gold is where you want to go. And you just click on the link in the description and off you go. And it's free to set up an account. And you can go ahead and set it up as far as buying a bunch of them. But before it's too late, guys, because our currency is going to collapse. It cannot be sustained the way it's going now. You're going to have to curb against it. And GoldBacks are the best for that. Thanks for watching, everybody. Any questions, by all means, put them in the comments below. And we'll see you tomorrow.